Hello everyone, welcome to Access Granted, unlocking cybersecurity one story at a time. Today we have our special guest, Ian Austin, founder of Pwned Labs. Hello Ian, how are you
Hello.
today?
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much for the invite. It's great to be here, and yeah, looking forward to discussing lots of things today.
Yes, for sure. So I have a first question for you.
Okay.
So what made you move from pen testing to building learning platforms like Pond Labs? So what was interesting for you, from because you were a pen tester for a long time,
Yeah.
then you joined Hack the Box
Mm.
and then creating your own company, Pond Labs.
Yeah, interesting. So, and it is a journey. It's as a pen tester, I really loved um, my job. I'm still a pen tester now, but I loved hacking into stuff. Um, and just learning. As a pen tester, you're always learning.
Yeah.
And so I loved that learning journey. And for me, I also loved making some scenarios myself. I think sometimes building is a really great way of kind of reinforcing the learning.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the evenings, I would kind of look to upskill on platforms like Hack the Box. I'd register there. I think I did. My first machine, I think, was Chronos in
Okay.
2017 or something like this.
Uh-huh.
And I really enjoyed that kind of like hacking into stuff and the community around it. That was amazing. And so yeah, I started creating my own scenarios as well, just to for my own learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I saw that Hack the Box allowed people from the community to create machines as well. And so
Mm-hmm.
I started to I kind of felt at the time in Hack the Box that it was maybe a little bit CTFE.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I kind of wanted to share with some experiences of what I've seen in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started creating some machines for Hack the Box, and they seemed to like them. The community seemed to like them. Then after that, I saw one of the moderators, like I think the first moderator, Alex. He
Okay.
mentioned, I think, back in the day, Hack the Box used to have like a community in Slack, and it had
Oh.
like the disappearing messages because they never paid for it.
Oh,
And then it
okay.
went to Mattermost, and now it's Discord, the
Yeah,
official Hack
Discord,
the Box
yes.
one. But there
Correct.
was never an official one back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, the moderator Alex kind of said, "Oh, hey, does anyone want to be like a mod for Hack the Box?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to," or how can I help?
Mm-hmm.
And so I became a mod and started helping out with the forums and stuff like that, creating some more machines. And then I think around 2019, myself and Anthony, who was another mod at the time, went for dinner with Harris and James, who are the
Mm-hmm.
founders,
Okay.
and they were like, "Okay, we think we want to make this into an actual company now,
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
great.
would you like to join us?"
Mm-hmm.
And so I think me and Anthony were both flattered. I can only speak for myself, but like I wasn't sure I wanted to join because I liked being a pen tester and I liked
Yeah.
my job, but I gave it some thought and I said, well, actually, I also really like making this content and scenarios, and so I decided, sure,
Yeah.
let's give it a go. And so I made the jump to Hack the Box,
Okay.
and I was pretty old, I guess, in terms of age, but also like senior in terms of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of formed the content team, moved to new products and stuff like this,
Mm-hmm.
and started analyzing the market, which is very fun. So I kind of moved from purely technical, and Hack the Box was also technical, but I did a lot of market research. I learned a lot about business also when I was in Hack the Box. I did a lot of my own reading as well, which was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that I wanted, you know, I realized that there was an opportunity. There's many opportunities in cybersecurity for
Yeah.
people who like
Mm-hmm.
want to create something new. And I realized that there was an opportunity in cloud.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how Pwned Labs began. really.
Yeah.
Just for me, seeing the market, there was really a gap specifically for cloud, but also other things. We're not just cloud. We now do AI and LLM and stuff
Yes,
like this.
that's the
So
new thing
yeah,
coming up,
yeah,
the AI era.
uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting to see your journey
Mm.
starting from penetration tester, then into hack the box, then your own Pwned Labs. So what exactly was the gap you saw when you wanted to start your own company? So what was the gap exactly you saw?
Interesting. So in Hack the Box, I think I was always pretty vocal about, I love the machines. I love the machines. They're great. And you have content creators like IPSec who do an amazing job, and also OXDF and so many other content creators that do an amazing job. My kind of thinking at the time was always just like, machines may have like this technique or that technique. There's kind of like a few different techniques within a box. Usually there's a foothold, a lateral movement, and a privilege escalation. And maybe the privilege escalation is the thing you really need to learn for your engagement just now. But first you have to skip through kind of these steps. And so I kind of felt that there's an opportunity maybe to create something that was more guided in terms of giving students access to the techniques they wanted. So that's one thing. Also, in terms of cloud security, I really felt there could be. I didn't really see much in the way of like individual scenario, like realistic cloud security scenarios that was like bite size, that people could kind of, in an evening they put their kids to bed or something like this, and then they want to start upskilling and improving themselves.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see too much of that in the market, and I felt specifically B2B, it would be a good place to kind of target. And really launch something, and so that's the opportunity we kind of seized on with Pwned Labs.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's really nice. If you find something, that's not happening, I can do something to it. Maybe I can start something.
Yeah.
So that's a great idea, actually. Yeah. Okay. So my next question will be, what unexpected lesson you learned while creating Pond Labs?
My goodness, that's a question. What unexpected lesson did I learn when creating Pwned Labs? There are so many. There are so many. I think I had the idea to create a company and to create some content that was really interesting and accessible, and to help people to learn cybersecurity skills who maybe can't afford a traditional education to get a degree, instead do hands-on experience and kind of learn skills in a realistic way. So that was the initial idea. The reality, I think, is running a company is very difficult and there's a lot of, you need to think about the company structure, you need to think about the financial architecture of the company, you need to think about who you're hiring, making some very important choices in terms of the people. You need to think about your community, you need to think about the market, you need to think about your own time, you need to think about your own commitments that you have personally, your family, your children, making time for everything. I think the kind of unexpected lesson that I would say is I've had to become quite good at time management. I think so. That's like
important.
one thing, because we have to wear so many different hats.
Yes.
Like one day I'm kind of more in business, next day I'm more in research, and next day is training, but also finding time for yourself and your family.
Yeah.
So the unexpected lesson, I think, is just I've learned how to plan effectively. I mean, I've always been very good at planning, but in terms of time management. I've learned to be quite good with my time because there's so much to do.
Yeah.
So,
Because running a business, I see people feel like, they get some idea. Okay,
yeah,
let's implement this.
yeah,
But they don't know what is there behind that. It's not just a product. Like we need people.
exactly.
Okay, we
Yeah,
need commercials as well, and many things. Will it boom or no? So
exactly.
running a business is
Yeah.
not that easy.
No.
I know
Yeah,
because not personally, because I know people who started with some idea,
yeah,
but they fail
yeah,
because they were missing something. So running a business is also like I can say a very good thing that you're doing. And yeah, I think that's really nice. And so how do you manage, like as you mentioned about time
yeah.
management, about your family and running a business, also you do give trainings, there are many things.
There are
So
many things. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
so how you manage with personal life and this professional with the business and everything?
So I'm passionate about what I do. Um, I have a wife and two daughters. They're aged. My daughters are aged 13 and 10. I have made sacrifices in my journey, which everyone who wants to do something that they want to do will probably have to make some sort of sacrifice along the way. I would say there are times when I've not been around for my family as much as I'd want to have been, probably because I've been like researching or I'm more a person I think who is very active and very motivated in the evening and early morning.
Oh.
And so this has an impact on kind of the next day sometimes. If you get really into a mode where you're researching and fixing problems. Something else is that if I have a problem, I generally don't sleep until it's fixed. So I kind of stay up. This can mean, obviously, maybe the next day has an impact where maybe you're a bit grumpy or maybe, you don't spend so much time with your family. So there is that. Now, I, try to do gaming with my daughters, and it's about trying to find a connection. So my family are based in London, and I'm based here, but I kind of spend my time between Dubai and London. So later this month, I'm heading back to London, and the goal is to get my family over here as well.
Yeah.
So I can be with my daughters full time.
Yeah.
But we're kind of seeing how it works, and it's not perfect, but we're trying to keep the connection going. And I think that's kind of one of the sacrifices. That's kind of, whether it's right or wrong, that's one sacrifice I think I've made.
So what about your daughters? They also want to be into cybersecurity.
My daughters are very creative, so they're more like their mum.
Oh,
They're more into kind of art, and my eldest daughter is very creative. She's amazing at drawing, super creative. But I think also in cybersecurity, you can be very creative as well.
yeah.
So it's not to say that someone who wants to be creative has to choose art. You can be very creative in cybersecurity. Like if you want to, maybe it's an exploit development, or creating some content, or giving a
Phishing.
training, or phishing.
Yeah.
Exactly, stuff like that. So you can be very creative.
What
for sure.
creative, like, I have seen phishing links and, phishing websites.
Yeah.
What creativity they do, exact copy of a,
Exactly,
a
yeah.
website, sometimes I'm also confused. Is it
Yeah.
really legitimate?
Yeah, yeah.
And you see, okay, you don't need to click.
Yeah.
So sometimes, phishing pages and websites are so legitimate. They look so great.
Yeah.
That's also, I can say, creative idea.
It's very creative. Sometimes you kind of see these phishing emails, and they haven't put enough effort into it, and you get very disappointed, right?
Yeah. Only basic HTML.
Only basic HTML. But the reality is that probably 90% of people will still click it.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. I know recently one of my colleagues was mentioning, this is something personal, but I can say like he just took a loan,
Yeah.
and he had some amount in his account, and he got a phishing link, you haven't paid your electricity bill or something like that.
Yeah.
And he clicked on it, and then the amount, he lost much amount from his account because I don't know what he did.
That's
but
terrible, yeah.
and he's into IT.
It can happen to anyone. Like if
Yeah.
someone wanted to phish me, they could. They could like send me a link for 50% off some cool hacking products. I'll probably click the link. Right?
Yes. Nowadays, I can say, the phone calls, be it here in Dubai or any other country, you will get a call, and they trick your mind, like, whatever you are facing right now, any situation. Like, one of my friends, she lost her job. Okay. And then she got a call from some HR stating like, we've hired you and all, something like that, but you have to transfer some amount because for the visa there is something you have to pay. She was okay because she was jobless here in Dubai. So then they asked for OTP and everything, and they
That's
took the amount.
Crazy. You always have to be very careful of scammers.
Yeah, yes. So that's what it is happening. So security awareness is also something very important.
Yes.
So
Yes.
security awareness, I can say, people can be, elderly people also.
Yeah.
Not about,
true.
not about the professionals. They can be elderly, our parents, okay, kids, for everyone it is important. People who are not very much educated, for them also it's important. I don't know how we can make it possible, but this is something, we should do it. Something like, maybe as a country, as a community, we should do something like, to have the cyber security awareness populated in the wider audience.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because obviously we all have parents, grandparents, and they might be targeted and stuff like that. I'm just going to kind of touch on the kind of like corporate aspect of that in terms of security awareness, which is, of course, it is important. But my personal feeling is that we should design systems to account for human weaknesses like clicking on links. So we should instead of relying on users to make good trust decisions online, we should design systems that are still secure and don't allow users to make bad trust decisions. So that would be my kind of thing. Now I don't have the solution for how to make such a system, but I would just say that from my experience, then sending users regular phishing emails and kind of catching users out and them feeling like they've been caught, and it's probably not the healthiest dynamic. And sometimes it can go too far where it's like there can be like an HR email. Sometimes there's kind of like a line that you shouldn't cross, and sometimes, unfortunately, with phishing emails, like simulated phishing emails, sometimes that line can get crossed a little bit. And even if a user gets caught, right, then for a few days after, they're kind of in a heightened state of, awareness. They're careful about not clicking on stuff. But then after that, they've got to do their jobs, right?
Yes.
Everyone's got a job to do.
Yeah.
And so security awareness is important, but it's got to be done kind of well. And these kind of compliance checkbox kind of exercises where you need to go through, or they're kind of just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Honestly, and everyone hates them.
Yes.
So yeah, my kind of 2 cents on that would be, let's create secure systems that don't rely on users making good trust decisions online.
Yeah, that's great. Yes.
And the same, I guess, applies for kind of like consumer IT and emails and stuff like that. But then you've got people kind of phoning up parents or grandparents, and you can't really design a system for
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
I guess.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay. So moving on to, so I have a question for newcomers,
Ah,
new students or someone from IT background want to move into cybersecurity,
yeah.
because we see nowadays many people want to move into
Yeah.
cybersecurity, and sometimes they get very much overwhelmed with so much of content online,
True.
the trainings,
Yeah.
the tools.
Yeah.
They just search something, okay, this is there, now this is there, I have to do this, which training I should go forward
Exactly.
for. There are so
Exactly.
many training providers. So what advice or something you can do, give to a person, or someone who want to move, maybe a fresher, or maybe he's experienced but into IT, or want to move into cybersecurity?
Great question. And you're right. I do mentoring as well with the Hack Smarter community, which is kind of run by Tyler Ramsby and various other people. And that's a common thread that I also see in kind of mentoring with people, is that maybe they're in IT or in development, or maybe they're a fresher, and they know they want to get into cybersecurity because it's fun, either on red or blue side. But then where do I start? There's so many trainings, there's so many tools, like you say. Generally, as a beginner in cybersecurity, it's very easy to feel overwhelmed, because what do you start with? It's like you kind of need to know the foundations and the basics, and at the same time, you kind of maybe have an aspiration that you want to be a pen tester or a red teamer or a blue teamer. And getting from, a skill, they may be skilled already in development or IT, but getting from not knowing much about cybersecurity to their aspiration, it's like, well, how do I connect the dots? How do I kind of take those steps, right? And many people are kind of overwhelmed, and many people also, because they're not too sure about the path to take, they kind of try this and they try that and try this, and you kind of speak with some people sometimes, and they're kind of doing like 10 different things. It's like, and it's kind of just because they're not really sure what to take, like, because they need a job in cybersecurity. They want to have something that will be an exciting career, but yeah, it's kind of like they don't know where to start. So when I'm mentoring people, each case is different, right? Whether it's like a fresher who's doing a comp sci degree, or someone who is a developer, or someone who's been like a physics teacher and now wants to get into cybersecurity, right? So it's on a case-by-case basis, and my advice generally is like, follow what you're interested in. So if you are 100% sure that pen testing is what you want to do, then maybe think, okay, well, have a think if you kind of like web. Do you like web stuff, or do you like infrastructure stuff, or do you like cloud? And so depending on some of these questions, you can maybe go, well, Portswigger's Web Security Academy is like an amazing place to go for web. And the web also helps the cloud. So you've kind of got options. You can keep your options open.
Yeah.
If you're into infrastructure testing, then it's maybe Hack the Box. If you're into cloud, it's maybe Pwned Labs.
Yes.
So yeah, it's on a case-by-case basis. A lot of people also think that if they have their resume, and if they have a good resume, then they can just apply for a job and hopefully get the job. That's generally the step, right? But I think nowadays something that really helps is if you kind of create your kind of online brand. I hate to be kind of like someone who's like, oh, you need to think about your brand, but it's like true. You need to think about your profile, who you present yourself as, learn the technical stuff, and, put in the hard yards in terms of learning. But then you kind of need to let people know that you also are this person who can do this stuff. It's great knowing this stuff and kind of having a resume and applying for a job, but then a hiring manager has 100 of those.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you make yourself stand out in the market? And so
Yeah.
creating like a LinkedIn profile, a blog, maybe you want to do some research, share a tool you've created with the community. These are all really great things that can help increase your profile, connect to people in your industry. And generally, if you kind of do those things, you'll kind of get opportunities coming to you,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yes, yes. But have you came across some people, like, they just want to jump into some job. So they ask, like, which certification I can do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
personally, I get messages on LinkedIn
Yeah.
asking, I want to jump into cybersecurity.
Uh-huh.
Which certification do you suggest I can
Yeah.
do? I can
Yeah.
go for it. And there are companies providing just the certificates.
Yes.
So
Yes. I can't
that
really
is,
speak about, I have to be careful about what I can't really speak about competitors and stuff like that. I can give my kind of own personal experiences that have happened in the past, but
yeah.
yeah, and
But I think hands-on experience is something okay, but hands-on learning is something that is required.
yes,
You know,
absolutely,
it's not
absolutely.
about just educating, and you just went through some of the videos, you learned something, you got certified, and you can get a job.
That's right. That's so
Yeah.
true. So I had a mentoring call a couple of weeks ago, and it was with a fresher, and they didn't really know cybersecurity, but they knew IT to an extent. Um, and they were like, "Okay, which certification should I go for?" And I was
Same
like,
thing.
"That's it's fine if you want to take a certification. You can go for this one, this junior one, this junior one, this junior one. You know, there's some really good junior pen testing certs in the industry, some really good ones, and however, my advice generally is, although doing a certification can give you some paper at the end, and that's great. It might make you feel good that you've kind of achieved this, which is great, and you can kind of show it to an employer and say, I've got the paper, the certificate." But what gives you more confidence, I feel, is just actually doing hands-on and following kind of your interest, learning the foundations, seeing seeing what you enjoy, whether it's web or kind of finding out more about yourself in terms of what you actually enjoy doing,
Yeah.
not just jumping straight into the first cert you see, right? This kind of like hands-on, maybe doing some very basic guided labs to learn the foundations, and then once you've done that, then kind of build on the explanatory learning that teaches you how to do stuff and tells you how to do stuff. Maybe asks you to do some independent research as well, kind of some additional learning, but you can build on the explanatory learning with exploratory learning. And that's where CTFs and
Yes.
hands-on stuff comes in, which is even through like 90% of the rabbit holes you kind of go down in trying to solve a challenge still teaches you something, right? And so yeah, I would say instead of jumping straight into a cert, hands-on upskilling and stuff like that. If you want to have some structure as a beginner, sure, take the cert, absolutely, no problem. But also supplement that with some hands-on labs and some CTFs as well, because that is going to give you confidence. If you can hack into a really difficult machine on Hack the Box, or if you can hack into a really kind of if you can hack into like a cyber range on Pwned Labs or something like this. This is going to give you confidence.
Yeah.
Doing a guided certificate or kind of a course will give you confidence as well. And the exam environment is like something that you have to try and hack into and get. So, if someone is able to clear the exam, that's amazing. And they've obviously proved that they've got the skills at that point. But I'd say in general, hands-on upskilling is better than just getting a certification for the sake of it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what I feel the same. Like, it's not just about getting a certification and getting a job. After, your CV is shortlisted,
Yeah.
what's next is the interview.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
you have to pass that as well. So there, if you have done any hands-on practice using some labs, will be helpful for you.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's like my point of view as well.
Yeah.
It's not about just getting a certificate. It's like always learn
Exactly.
the foundation. So yeah,
Exactly. It's a journey, right?
It's
I
a
think
journey.
sometimes the temptation is because it's like I think we are speaking about this just before the podcast, right? But definitely when I was younger, it seemed less competitive. Now maybe this is just like a bias thing, where in hindsight things seemed easier. But I definitely feel like for a lot of people nowadays, it seems very competitive. It seems, I'd actually say young people seem more switched on, I think, than I ever was when I was their age.
Yeah.
And maybe the temptation is to kind of not take a shortcut, but to try and speed up, to kind of accelerate the process to their aspiration, which is fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes putting in the hard yards is absolutely the right thing to do. And you can get paid at the same time.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. True. Yes. Because I also remember when I started, the interviews and everything was not that difficult like
Yeah.
as it is now. The rounds of interviews we have now, because there is competition. Too
A
too
lot of
much.
competition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
of competition is there. So yeah, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Cybersecurity is this growing industry. So
Yeah.
you've got cloud security, cybersecurity, AI security,
Yeah.
kind of growth areas, right?
Yes.
On premises isn't going away. It's always going to be there.
Yeah.
But because of companies like Hack the Box and Pwned Labs, then we're kind of popularizing, also getting into, we're kind of saying, well, this can be a great career for you. And it is a great career.
Yes.
So we're getting more people into the industry, which is amazing. We're helping to grow the market. And yeah, these are kind of recognized as growth areas. And so many people are kind of seeing them as something that they can get a valuable career in, which is absolutely true. But yeah, to help stand out from the crowd, then certification. Okay, sure. You need to show and demonstrate that at that point in time, you were able to kind of clear the exam and, show your skills, hands-on learning, and also building your brand.
Yes.
Can really help you stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, that's true. So as you mentioned about cloud and AI, what's your thought about can AI replace ethical hackers?
Can AI replace ethical hackers? Well, for bug bounty, I think AI can find a lot of vulnerabilities that are quite easy to find at the moment. Now, maybe Expo or whatever it's called, that kind of AI that does the bug bounties, will kind of increase in sophistication and find more sophisticated vulnerabilities. But my general feeling is that if you are kind of mostly in administration, if you're in kind of admin roles in general, then AI is very good at those tasks. In terms of cybersecurity, it's actually very creative. And I'm not saying like, nothing can ever replace human creativity, right? But there's so much complexity and there's so much knowledge of what the company does, what the application's, functionality is, some of the common mistakes that developers or IT users make. There's this whole kind of context that AI seems to me to not take into account when assessing vulnerabilities. And so I think that AI is something that will augment what cybersecurity professionals do. I think that and we'll see how kind of in the years ahead, but my feeling is that cybersecurity will be pretty resilient to AI. It opens up this huge opportunity for AI security itself, which
Yes.
humans need to obviously manage and assess and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say in general, AI will augment cybersecurity professionals and allow them to do more and to find more things. But it won't replace cybersecurity professionals.
Okay. Good thought.
Yeah.
So the next part is the fun part,
Okay.
past part of this podcast, which is rapid fire round.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not thinking too much, just
Sure.
one thing came to your mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So let's start. First tool that you have used to hack something.
Nmap.
Okay. What's the one thing you always do before launching a module or a product?
First thing I always do is test it. It's
Yeah.
not very rapid fire, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Linux, Windows, or Mac? What do you actually use?
Mac.
Mac. Okay, same. So, if you were not in cybersecurity, what you would be doing?
IT.
IT?
Yeah, for sure. I've got to be technical. I've got
Only
to,
technical, nothing else. No football, cricket.
No. I need even though I've kind of been very managerial in the past, and I kind of manage people now, but yeah, I need to get my teeth stuck into technical stuff. So for me, I would just be doing IT, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So, biggest cybersecurity buzzword that's total BS.
Zero trust.
Yeah, it's true. I can say. Yes, I can say that. Yeah. So, would you rather hack or teach?
I have to choose one.
Yeah,
Hack.
if you want.
Hack.
Or maybe the priority. So number
No,
one comes
yeah, I can't. If I have to choose one, hack. But for me, they're both the same.
both the same.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. No, very nice answers. So that's the wrap up for the rapid fire.
Okay, I was under
Yes.
some pressure there.
No, that was good. Only for the one question you took some time, but
Yeah.
it's okay. Okay, so moving on. How do you keep your passion alive in this fast moving industry?
Yeah, great question. If I'm learning, I'm happy. If I ever reach the point in Pwned Labs or anything else where I'm not learning, I'm not sure what I would do. But I'm always learning. The business side, I'm always learning new things. The technical side, I'm always learning new things. And yeah, as long as I'm learning, I'm happy. And that's what I'm really passionate about. Teaching. I'm really passionate about mentoring. I'm very passionate about making things accessible for people who can't necessarily afford it. To go to university or something like this, it's out of reach for a lot of people probably. And so yeah, I'm very passionate about that. I'm very passionate about community. I guess where I am is kind of like, it's kind of like at the intersection of a lot of things that I'm passionate about. So I'm kind of blessed.
Okay, great. So, during your career, there was any time you felt burned out? And if there was a time, how did you recover from the same?
Yeah, really good question. I can take a lot of punishment in terms of the time or the kind of effort. I put in a lot of effort, a lot of time, and I'll figure out the problem eventually. When I was starting the journey with Hack the Box or with Pwned Labs, or even sometimes with Pwned Labs, it can be very demanding. Like I can have a lot of things to do, and I need to put in a lot of time. Maybe I make sacrifices, with my personal time. Have I come to a point where I felt burnt out? No, honestly. And that's because I kind of feel like I see the mission that we're on, and the purpose. I feel like what I'm doing has purpose. If I felt like it didn't have purpose, or if I didn't really believe in the mission, I think I would have burnt out long ago. Honestly.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah.
But also, just to kind of add to that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that what I do is necessarily the most healthy thing, and I wouldn't recommend that others kind of, spend so much time. But yeah, look after yourself. Take breaks. Do things you enjoy, and going at 100 miles an hour isn't sustainable for anyone, for me included. So sometimes you need to take a break and kind of have a day where you just don't do much. And that can help you recover, because if you're burnt out, nothing's going to get done anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you need to take a break.
So what exactly you do when, you feel I need a break? Do you like to go out in nature? Or, I see people, they like to go,
Yeah,
okay,
they
I'll
do,
go for
yeah.
a hike, or I'll go out,
Yeah.
just take some fresh air. So what about you?
Some things I like are catching up with friends, whether online or offline, just kind of like chatting to people. I like playing chess.
Oh,
So I have like some
nice.
friends that I play chess with. I really enjoy that. It's like the mental side.
Yes.
I find hacking pretty relaxing, so I might like do some challenges instead of just building or teaching. Actually, hacking into stuff as well is very fun and very relaxing. I find this very relaxing. Apart from that, it's nice to have a beach day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to the beach
Yes.
and like relax and stuff like this. So I would say if I needed to do something that was just I needed some time away from the computer, I'd probably just go to the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like beach too.
You like beach too? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's nice. Very peaceful.
Uh-huh.
And the sound of the shore and everything.
Yeah.
I
And
totally
and
like
the
it.
warm
Yes.
sand and
Warm
everything.
sand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
I like it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what about the future of cyber education in AI era?
Such a good question, because everybody is or should be using some sort of AI by now, whether it's Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, or your own kind of models that you're kind of running locally or whatever. They can be very useful in general, like as a sounding board. If you kind of have some questions, or you kind of want to explore a particular topic. And in that sense, it's like a self-teaching aid, which is amazing. I would say that sometimes it can give answers that sound excellent, but are wrong. and so it's kind of knowing, I kind of feel like you need to know enough to take the benefits from the AI and to use that productively,
Yeah.
but know where the AI is actually kind of sending you off on a wrong path. So I'd say, yeah, in terms of the future, you can Google something 5 years ago or 2 years ago, and you'd be presented with a list of pages, right, from that Google's search algorithm would think are relevant. Now, you search something in Google, and the first thing that comes up is Gemini saying
Yeah.
the answer.
Yes.
So
Yes.
everyone has the expectation of using AI. Same with Pwned Labs, same with any other company in the industry. We're all going to be adopting chatbots because it's how people look to learn.
Yeah.
We'll train it on our content and kind of it will provide answers based on the knowledge and stuff like that. So and then you have like MCPs that can kind of do things in the real world as well. So yeah, it's very exciting. Do I feel like the education kind of industry is kind of threatened by it? Again, I feel like it's more kind of going to augment what we're already doing. I think that it's an opportunity to help students learn more dynamically.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So, next thing I want to know, if you get a chance to build something where there is no time limit,
Yeah.
no financial obligation,
Okay.
you have plenty of time, plenty of money,
Okay.
what you will be building?
In terms of content or company?
In terms of any product, anything you think of, like, maybe as part of Pond Labs, any product or something that will be helpful, something of that sort.
Wow. So the money is no object. We have unlimited money.
Yes.
And we have unlimited time.
Time, yes.
Okay. I would probably look to create AI agents that are able to defend companies based on some of the data that Pwned Labs collects and kind of has access to, because it's like, we're in the cloud and we're in quite a privileged position, I guess, in terms of being able to collect this data. But it's like the time and the money to actually kind of create these data sets, the AI agents. We can create AI agents that help to defend real environments and also potentially as penetration testers. We never want to replace people. And if Wiz or any other sort of company like this is listening, we're probably not going to do that. So don't get worried. But yeah, if we had something like that, probably I would do that. If it's more like on the content side, I would say like a critical infrastructure,
Okay.
but only for companies. We don't want to kind of show kind of regular people how to hack into water systems and stuff like that. So it would just be for companies, but it would be like a fully comprehensive thing for governments and for companies around the world. That could be very fun.
Okay, nice. That's great. So great, Ian. So before we wrap up, something that you want to share about your recent launch in Pond Labs?
There's been a few exciting launches recently, but the thing that's launching today is the Pwned Labs swag shop. So this is a place where you can actually get a Pwned Labs tee or a cap, or maybe you've hacked into one of the Cyber Ranges, so you can get like an Electra tee or a Thunderdome tee or a hoodie.
Oh,
So yeah,
I need one.
Yeah, well, we'll send one out. We'll send one out for you. Yeah, if you want to swag up and kind of identify with the community and kind of represent, then yeah, it's
so
available
good.
now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Yes.
Me too.
Okay, so that was Ian Austin, founder of Pond Labs. Thank you very much, Ian, for joining us and unlocking
My
your
pleasure.
story with us. So, thank
Thank
you
you so
again.
much for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you so much. So that was for today. Thank you so much for watching us. This is Access Granted, unlocking cybersecurity one story at a time. Stay tuned because we will be getting more guests with us and more of surprises, more talks. So stay tuned. Thank you.